Here is how to combine multiple images using Photoshop. So we're going to use Photoshop here. The first thing we need to do is get our background picture. So I go online, find a picture, I just copy it. So right click, copy image. Now we got to create new. If we click on clipboard, it's going to make a piece of paper the same size as picture we saved. And we always want to give our projects a title. I recommend the name of the project with your name in it. There we go, and create. Now it created a paper for us. First thing we're going to do, add our picture. So go up to edit, paste, anything pops up, just click OK. And there's your picture. Let's zoom in. Now you see mine's got these two ladies at the bottom. I want to get rid of them. Here's a little trick. If we do the spot healing tool, like I showed you that gets rid of zits, I can click all over them with a little piece of them and a little bit of the background, and I can get rid of them. Now you see I sped it up because it takes a while to get rid of all of them completely. Some parts are a little more tricky, sometimes you gotta slide around. Now I noticed it's a little dark in some areas, so I'm going to come over here and do the dodge button. If I dodge it, it makes it a little bit lighter. Now I made it a little too light, so I'm going back here and burn. I'm going to make smaller ones to make it look kind of like the ground, or bigger I mean, and add a couple darker spots in there. Ooh, that part got a little dark, so we can edit and undo. When in doubt, you can also Control Z to undo as well. You'll be using that a lot. There we go, now that spot's gone. Now we need to add in our cartoon, or our picture. So we add layer, that folded paper at the bottom. We need to open up our picture. So mine's in my files here. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to open it up, and you can just right click, copy, or I have to go up to edit and copy. I'm going to use this picture of me dancing. So let's go back to Photoshop. I'm going to edit and paste. And click OK. Now we want to select the whole thing, so I just Control T. That way it's selected. I can take the corner, drag it, and make it whatever size I need it to be. And decide where it's going to go. Now I'm just going to use me in this picture, not my husband, so I know he's going to be deleted out. Alright, so a trick that I have to make it so you can see it easier to delete it is to take a color and paint a layer in between the photo that you added and your background layer. That makes it so it's really obvious and easy to notice where you erased. Now we could try to use a magic eraser, probably wouldn't work as well for this one, so we'll just use the eraser tool. I'm going to make my size nice and big, and I'm going to delete everything except for me. So I start wide, then I zoom in closer, and I make the eraser tool smaller. Now you noticed it gets a little pixelated as you zoom in. That's okay. So you're just going to work your way very slowly, very carefully, erasing around your entire image. I recommend start with the big tool, then zoom in, get a little smaller, zoom in, get smaller. You really want to take your time. This is a sped up video because I took quite a while to take my time and edit all the way around this, getting rid of all the grass so it's just me. The more you take your time with this, the better your final project's going to end up. Really advise zoom in close, change the size of the tool that you're using. Don't just use a big one. So you see, now I'm going to zoom in more, make my tool smaller, all the way down to 1 pixel, so it gets rid of 1 square at a time, and work my way around the entire thing. It is time consuming. The more time you take, the better. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to when I'm all done. Now I just delete that red layer, select garbage can, yes, and I'm all nice and clean. So now we need to add our cartoon. So I'm going to go and find my picture online, right click, copy image, go back to my project. I want to add a layer because I don't want to always work on the same layer. Now we just edit, paste, there he is. Wait for it, boom. Control T, select the whole thing, grab the corner, make it smaller. So figure out what size you want your cartoon to be. Now we want to use the magic eraser. Magic eraser is cool because it gets rid of everything that's the same color all at once. So you see one click and it's gone. Works great for one colored images. Multicolored backgrounds doesn't work as well. Try it out, see what works. You can always edit, undo if you need to. Now I'm just moving them around to figure out where I want to put them, and I realize my feet are cropped off at the bottom, so I go back to the layer 4 and Control T to get it selected, move it down, go back to layer 5, Control T select, move it down. Sorry, that's my dog you hear in the background, he's walking around. Alright, now you can follow this same process and add as many characters as you want to your project. As you can see, I added a couple more just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now what I suggest doing is using the burn or the dodge tool. Dodge makes things lighter, burn makes things darker. If we use the burn tool, it will actually create some shadows for us. If I look at my regular picture, the shadow is going to the left, so I want to make the shadows on me and my cartoon characters go to the left as well. This simple step of adding shadows makes it so much more realistic, and it really grounds your objects to look like they're really part of the picture. So I highly suggest adding some shadows. When you're all done, just go up to Copy, Save, and double check that your title's good. Now we want to go to Format. We want to change the format from Photoshop to JPEG. This means it's a final copy, and we save. All done.